Gentlebox, welcome back to the cave. I'm your host, Big Daddy. We got my man Lex over here, got Coach D over
What's going on,
there.
y'all?
Remember, like, comment, share, subscribe. We appreciate y'all. We're gonna jump right into it. Woo! Was supposed to be this heavyweight fight. Herbert versus Tua was a mismatch.
Mhm.
Lex, what happened?
Man, look, that that was that was a beatdown. And it wasn't even a beatdown like, oh man, y'all lost 50 to nothing. But it didn't feel close.
Not
No
at all.
part of the game felt like it was close and it was nip and tuck. And Tua looked awful. Straight garbage. Like 10 for 28. 10 for 28. That's a man.
Geno
When
Smith
Baker
doing better than
Mayfield
that.
played better than you, when Baker Mayfield played better than you, man, you need to reevaluate some things.
We
You
we
need to
coming out the A
reevaluate.
block with the Baker Mayfield. We coming in
Hey,
the
look,
A
look,
block with the Baker Mayfield.
I had to say my piece, but look, Tua looks like last two games the Tua from 2 years ago, and that's not the Tua that Mike McDaniel signed up for. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he knew what he was gonna get when he was a part of that, like when he was becoming the coach. But look, y'all, it don't look good. It don't look good.
Coach,
Look. Y'all forget the beginning of the season when we were saying Tua was like weekend at Bernie's as well because the offensive line wasn't protecting this man. All right. The man got sacked twice. Not his worst day in sacks because it's been worse this season. But my point is, when that offensive line is not doing their job, Tua is gonna look bad. This man, I don't know why people hype him up like he's going to be elite quarterback. Tua's ceiling has always been to me game manager. And if you surround him with great things, which they've done, Tyreek Hill is there, Waddle is there. Mike McDaniels is getting the most out of Tua. But in this game, San Diego's defense said no. And that was just that. And mostly because of that offensive line.
But that's the sad part. Most of the players for the Chargers didn't play. You only had Khalil Mack.
Which lets you know
That
about
means
that offensive
Bosa
line.
ain't out there. Derwin James ain't out there. But if you only got one guy, you can't use the offensive line as an excuse. That that's bad quarterback play. That ain't on the offensive line. That's bad quarterback play.
No, Tua made some questionable calls. But some of that was after he'd been pressured. like when a man's been rattled, let's be real. This man got a concussion earlier this season and got sent back in. They had to rewrite the rules because of what happened to this man. He's scared. Once you get hit once after a couple hits like that, you gonna rush the ball. It's just gonna happen.
okay, here we go. Your point about his ceiling, when he came out, y'all remember we were talking before the show. I had him graded as a backup, a
Mm-hmm.
quality, but I've always had issues with his arm. He he's a soft tosser. He's Jeremy Moyer to use a baseball reference. Don't mean you can't be quality, but there's limitations to what you can do. Um, from a football perspective, my comp was he's Chad Pennington, and I think Chad is smarter than him, process quicker.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't process super fast.
Yeah.
The zones yesterday really confused him. Like you want to talk about offensive line, it wasn't just the offensive line. He wasn't getting those man looks and those zones. He didn't know where to go with the ball, and his first, second, third read is Tyree, and they weren't giving
Yeah,
it to
yeah,
him
yeah.
yesterday.
They
They
know where
just
that ball
weren't.
going.
So
Yeah.
they had to scheme up other stuff. They didn't. Mike McDaniels, his credit, he fell on the sword. Said this is on me. I have to have him better prepared. I think Tua can get you to the playoffs, as we can see with this team.
Yeah, yeah.
I just don't see
Yep.
When you play top 5 caliber defenses, he's not going to be able to throw you to victory
Yes.
by himself. Yesterday, Raheem Mostert couldn't get off the running game,
Facts.
couldn't get going. And when you don't have that balance, when you don't have that play action, he's going to struggle against the top quality defenses. To the Herbert point,
But I think, but here's the thing. But hold on. We talk about the Chargers like they're a top flight defense. They're not. They're not. They're not a top
no,
flight
no.
defense.
Totally right. No,
The Chargers
you're
are
right.
on the
You're right. They got out schemed
So
yesterday.
if you
Yeah.
have trouble
That's-
against that, yeah.
No, that's fair. That's totally fair. That's totally fair. To Herbert has all the physical stuff. Like he's going to wow you with his arm. He's going to make some
and we had him
throws.
as an MVP candidate. Like,
He hit Keenan Allen on the throw yesterday. Keenan Allen couldn't believe he got him the ball because there was no room to put the ball there. The ball was perfect on the out route. The DB's hand is here and the ball is here, and Keenan didn't even have to reach it; just went in between his hand. It was amazing throw. He's not that every week.
mm-hmm.
Herbert's kind of up and down. No matter what they tell you, he heard the noise this week. You're comparing me to that guy?
Yeah.
To that guy? He heard the noise and he played like he heard the noise. We'll see how their season ends. To me, they should be a playoff team. They should be, in the way the AFC is shaking out. They probably should, because it looks like the Jets may take a step back. I'm gonna talk about that in a little bit because I feel some type of way about what they did to their quarterback yesterday. But we'll see. If here's the thing, and this is historical with the Chargers. They'll give you a game like yesterday and then next week and just come out and just lay an egg.
Me down.
And you're like, who's this team? Who is this team? And
Herbert's been like, I don't even know who these are.
Exactly. All right, here we go. Should the NFC be even more afraid now of San Fran? Because Brock Purdy looked like he can run that offense.
Not yet. Not yet. And this is a caveat. Like y'all should prepare. Like y'all should be have anxiety, not scared. You should be nervous. 3 weeks. One you facing Seattle next week. We got Pete Carroll. It's a division game. This is gonna be the real test. We got 2 games of film on Purdy now. Let's see how they respond to that. If they go in there and they mop Seattle, fear the Niners. That's all they needed was a quarterback that wasn't going to turn the ball over. Now, it's a little early. I heard some Tom Brady. A little too early for that for me. But fear the Niners if they win Seattle.
Lex?
I mean, absolutely. We already knew that, though. I mean, that's this. What happened yesterday ain't nothing new. The Bucks are a bad team. They're bad. They're 6-7. They about to be Seattle when they got it. So it's nothing different. I mean, everyone needs to understand that the 49ers are the preeminent defense in the NFL. They are what teams strive to be. And due to that, if you can play defense, you can run the ball, you ain't got to have the most amazing quarterback. And Brock Purdy is dangerous because he understands his role. Don't throw picks, maintain ball security, get it to my playmakers.
Let me see that in week 3. After
Again,
you win 2 games, people get a little egotistical.
Super consistent.
He might have a little Ryan
Fitzpatrick
in him.
But see, he knows what he is in his draft position. No, he knows his draft position. He knows what he is, and he knows he's on a thin leash. So, no, in my opinion, they are the cream of the crop in terms of all teams in the NFL. I don't see anybody besides, and I can really say this now, and I'm happy about it. I'm wearing the jersey to say it. But I mean, they the cream of the crop, y'all. I mean, if they don't turn the ball over, they can run the ball. Ain't no one gonna be able to stop them. That's a little bit different. Like,
You take you take them over your Eagles. NFC Championship game. Who you taking?
look, if we can't run the ball, like, see, that's what I mean. Like, there's not been one team that we have played that can stop us from running the ball. None. Zero. The only person that stopped us from running the ball is ourselves. So if we go up against a defense that actually can stop us from running the ball, I'm a little bit frightened.
I like that objectivity. That was a fresh dose this week.
I'm gonna tell you.
I'm an objective Eagles fan.
You be leaning.
That game, what San Francisco and the Eagles, let's say potential NFC Championship game, right now it would be played in Philly. I would favor the Eagles by 2. I'd favor the Eagles. At home, I'm a favor the Eagles.
So basically
so also, I'm gonna tell you the truth. Brock ain't seen the pass rush like the Eagles rush. Like, it's one thing to play Tampa and they struggling, and you came in at the end of the week last week. Oh, that's wonderful. But you play them upper level, like, okay, even if you had to play, let's say Dallas, you seen the pass rush. Like, Dallas can bring out that front seven. Pass rush make all quarterbacks look ordinary. So I think San Fran has a formula regardless of who's playing quarterback. And I think that's what makes them dangerous. The formula doesn't change.
Agreed.
We're going to run the ball. We're going to run these bubble screens, wide receiver screens. We're going to get the ball in our playmakers' hands, and we're going to let them do the work. We're not asking the quarterback, whether it be Trey Lance, Jimmy Garoppolo, or Brock Purdy, to carry us to victory. You're going to run the system, keep us in the proper down and distance, and that's what we're going to do. If we need to punt, we'll punt. We're going to play defense because we trust what we had. It's the way the team is built, and that's what I think is scary. With other teams, it's like, oh, you have to do this because this guy's playing, or you got to do this because we're missing that guy. And with this, it's like, no, we've built a system, plug and play. Plug and play. So essentially, what they've been doing since OTAs, they're doing now, because although the person has changed, the formula has not.
I mean, we see it.
I agree. I think you're telling the whole truth.
No matter what quarterback in there, Trey, Jimmy G, like, it's the same thing. Kyle sticks to his game plan, so that's the thing is consistent. And again, if Purdy don't get no ego next week or the coming weeks, stays consistent, don't hand that ball over. The 49ers, they going to the Super Bowl. Can they win this time? Is the question.
That's a whole nother conversation. Speaking of the NFC, did the Eagles put the Giants out their misery? Like, the Giants were kind of teetering, like, we might be a playoff team, we might sneak in. And the Eagles basically said there's levels to this, and you ain't close to ours.
Oh, yeah.
A month ago, there was a conversation that Daniel Jones had played himself into, not a real extension, but all right, we'll bring you back next year type extension.
Who believed that?
After what he put on film these last couple weeks,
his true self.
That ain't it,
man. And look, I'm not blaming it all on him.
That ain't it.
I know the receivers is hurt. He throwing the guys. I get that, but man, it's rough out there.
Look. Daniel Jones.
This is what I got to say about.
Go ahead.
Look. Let me put it out there for you. All right, let me make it real plain. All right, for the people at home, for the watchers that are going to be previewing this later, okay? Look, Daniel Jones is sorry. He's sorry. He's not a good quarterback. I would rather have, man, I'm telling you, it's terrible. Look, guys, this is terrible for me to say. But like I said, I'm objective. I really am. I'd rather have Baker Mayfield than Daniel Jones.
That's saying a
I
lot.
would.
That's an
Because
insult and a half.
That's what I'm. Because with Daniel Jones, I don't know when the mistakes are gonna come. With Baker Mayfield, at least I know that Sean McVay showed it. I can scheme and maybe figure out a way to manufacture a win. Daniel Jones will have a wide open receiver and throw it 10 yards short and throw a pick. What am I supposed to do? I schemed him open and he throws a pick. So I don't know what people will find out with Daniel Jones. But this is what I'll say about my team. Hold on. I gotta bring it back. I'm done talking about the Giants. They're terrible. They're gonna get in because the NFC is bad. So which is really sad and pathetic. We're gonna have all 4 teams in the playoffs, which I don't even remember the last time it happened. But this is what I gotta say about my team. This is the first time this whole year I have felt excited. Like, oh man, we might be able to go do this thing. Like, we might be able to actually win the NFC. Because look, Sean McDermott, he wrote the book on this one right here. Look, I need to go get my quarterback a number 1 wide receiver. I just got to get him one because it's going to change the way life is. Like, I didn't believe it. I ain't gonna lie. I knew AJ Brown is a dog. I've had AJ Brown in fantasy the last 3 years, and he's been excellent every single year. But I didn't think Jalen Hurts was going to turn into this. I didn't believe it. So, with seeing that and seeing this and seeing Hassan Reddick literally break NFL records, the first player since 1982 to get 12 sacks in 10 sacks in consecutive seasons with 3 different teams. Look, and our defense is playing. I'm actually excited.
Hold on. I gotta address something. No. I feel some type of way. Okay. Those were sub shots at Eric DeCosta for not getting Lamar help, and I appreciate him. I felt them shots, and I appreciate it. DeCosta,
I didn't want to say it out loud.
But you see, he mentioned Josh Allen real subtly, like Josh Allen was a little wild with his accuracy, and he got a number 1. Number 1 who went to the University of Maryland, by the way. Then he went and they got Jalen Hurts, who they say couldn't throw, and went and got him a number 1. And all of a sudden, he about to win an MVP. And we got Lamar sitting in Baltimore.
Look, let's be real. Besides Anquan and with Mason.
Derek Mason.
Every quarterback in Baltimore been like, where they at? Like, I don't know what's for Ozzie, but at least Ozzie admits his faults. And my problem is Eric ain't learned from Ozzie, and he creating the same mistakes.
No, here go the thing. Like, full disclosure is, as we gonna go here. Ozzie tried. There was a draft day trade that got messed up. They were supposed to select Dez Bryant.
Yeah, I remember.
The Bears messed up the trade. They ended up drafting Jimmy Smith. It worked out. Like, Dez was cool, but Ozzie, remember, Rashad Perriman, first-round draft pick, Ozzie. We know what that was. Mark Clayton, first-round draft pick, Ozzie. The best wide receiver he's ever drafted, and he's only a guy, and I love him, but it's Torrey Smith.
Yeah. But, like, when you sit here.
We've always picked up scrap heap guys. And I don't say that to be disrespectful, but we get a veteran, you get a Derek Mason, you get an Anquan Bolden. Heck, you get a Lee Evans who almost catches the ball to send you to a Super Bowl, and we know what happened with that. That's what we do. You get a Steve Smith.
Steve Smith, yeah.
Yeah. You bring him in, and I don't know why we can't draft him. I've said this, and this hurts me to say it. The Steelers have the best personnel at drafting wide receivers in the NFL. Because they don't have to be ones. They'll go get you 2 through 7, and all of them can play. All of them can play.
Giants, I don't know if they still got the same scouting. Giants used to as well. Manningham, Victor Cruz, like
undrafted.
yeah. So Giants used to have it too. Like
Plaxico was drafted by the Steelers, but yeah, but like at the end of the day,
but the Steelers, there you go. There's another one.
At the end of the day, the Ravens don't. The GM don't seem to care, and now we got new problems. You got to pay Roquan Smith. Like you see, you got to pay him. Roquan Smith has made Patrick Queen all pro level player.
He came in.
Did you see that pick?
Now, the beginning of the year, the man ain't had no hands. All of a sudden, he competing with Roquan. He's like, I better catch this. You better catch it. You better catch it. No, you're not paying Roquan just for Roquan. You paying him because he's making somebody else better. So now he's up the value of what people were trying to say was a bust. Patrick's going to the Pro Bowl this year. There's no way he doesn't go to the Pro Bowl.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
So,
look, back
I look at the Eagles and I'm jealous. I am. Because I'm jealous of how they build depth in their defensive line. I'm amazed at what they get away with at linebacker. Because at the linebacker position, you like, who are you? They do just enough. They don't scare you. They do. That's why they struggle in the run game too, because the linebackers don't plug well. In the secondary, it was a joke on Twitter. They were like, who on the Giants roster could start for the Eagles? And they were like, oh, well, Bradbury was the only one, and they stole him already.
But look, no, sincerely, the Eagles, like if the Eagles would have lost that game or if that game was close, I'm questioning the Eagles. Like, this is what I expected. I told y'all that Brian Daboll Coach of the Year stuff was too early. Like, Daniel Jones is Daniel Jones. And another thing, why Saquon Barkley getting like, 8 carries?
He was hurt. Hey. He hurt his neck. Like last week, he hurt his neck.
So why he playing? That was another issue.
I was say he shouldn't be playing.
That was my other issue.
He shouldn't have been playing.
Because he's your best player.
But he injured. That was my issue last. I was like, wait, he playing? Wait. Your season over. Like, this ain't no real playoff team. Like, preserve him.
Yes. What are you talking? They are a game and a half behind the Cowboys. They are a legit playoff team.
I'm looking at this. I see Seattle beating them in. I
don't know. Seattle took that L yesterday, and they might have.
They did. But I think Kyler got hurt tonight.
Geno,
and they got another Arizona. Okay.
Well, look, I say this. We got to give him shout out. I don't know how he doing it, but Steve Wilkes is over there doing something in that locker room, getting him to play for him.
Telling you.
And he might end up keeping that job. Like, think about what's gone. Baker was supposed to be the savior. That's out. Your running back, supposed for your franchise. He good, but he gone. Robbie Anderson got on his nerves. He got Robbie Anderson up out of there. He didn't let DJ go. He kept the defense together. And it's not pretty, but they winning.
We gotta talk about this.
So Matt Rule gone too. Don't forget about that.
Fair.
If the Panthers get into the playoffs, Steve Wilkes should be the highest paid coach in the league.
Oh my goodness. Like, I can't believe that's a conversation.
Yeah. Like that shouldn't be a conversation.
That division is horrid.
Out of first place. The Panthers are garbage.
That's because Mariota then jumped away 2 opportunities to be in the lead in this division,
Wait,
throwing picks at the end of the
Yeah,
game.
you're
They
right.
didn't bench them.
Yeah, you
that's that Mariota y'all
then-
believed in.
I look,
who?
I
No,
take
no,
full
no, no, me.
responsibility.
No, y'all was talking about,
I don't know.
they a playoff team. I didn't believe it.
No.
Who?
I'm not being funny. If he don't throw the ball away, they're like 7-6 leading this division.
They're
He's literally
they're
lost
7-6
games
right now.
late.
And he's the reason I said they ain't a playoff team. I said that. I said I don't trust it. You start throwing up that
No.
Tennessee game, that 1 year against Alex Smith in Tennessee, and you start throwing that out.
No, I'm giving you credit.
Like,
He was running well. They were winning games, and then they got in these close games, and they asked him to be the reason. And when it was him being the reason, he ain't that guy. I give you that. Can he?
What they
lead
should
a
have done is
team?
they should have
I
gave it
feel
to
like they
Cordero
ain't been
Patterson.
running enough. Exactly. I agree. I feel like they got a little pass happy, and it cost them.
because he did do good. I think
They
like
got pass happy
one
because
game
they
he did good
best
without Cordell.
Player told me, "Give me the effing ball."
Look, I look at that team and I'm like, Cordero Patterson, especially in the red zone, and Younghoe Koo. Like, I'm counting on 3 field goals a game from Younghoe Koo. I know what the offense is. And I think they got enamored, like, oh, we're a passing team. The devil is alive. So
They lied.
all right.
Yeah, you do. He's the greatest flyer ever.
What happened to the Titans? Like, what happened?
But Lex, before you go into your Trevor Lawrence is the truth, I ain't giving Trevor Lawrence none. It's that defense. 4 sacks, 3 sacks in the first half to turn to 17 points.
Now I know you lying.
That's what happened.
You telling a lie from the pit of Tartarus.
That defense showed
Then
Ryan
before Lex
Tannehill
go
that he is Ryan Tannehill.
No, before Let's go on his rant, I'm going to tell you what happened yesterday. It is very simple. In the first quarter, Derrick Henry went off for like 91 yards or something like that. Just went crazy. He ends up with over 100 yards in the first half. The second half, he had 2 yards.
Ooh, yeah. It was bad.
That's unacceptable. Ain't that much changing it. That's unacceptable.
Who's it?
And if he
Mark
got tired,
Fabril?
put the backup in. I don't know. That can't, especially since Derrick Henry didn't had a career against the Jaguars by themselves.
Yep.
Like, just a career.
Jacksonville ain't beat them since 2013.
So
Ooh,
I'm gonna let you go ahead and praise
California.
Prince of Persia.
California.
The blonde wonder. That blue-eyed devil. But I ain't sold.
All right, so look, I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. You already know what I've been telling y'all about.
That's because his resume
Trevor
is short and
Lawrence.
not sweet.
So hold on, brethren. You go. If Urban Meyer was your principal, I'm sure you would have a bad year too. All right, so we ain't gonna talk about that. We're gonna toss that out the window.
13, we still talking about Urban Meyer.
Hey, how bad of a coach you got to be that we still talking about you? What 25 weeks after you got fired? So I'm just saying. But look. Trevor Lawrence showed why he was the number 1 pick. He destroyed that defense. They didn't have a chance. 368, 4 touchdowns. Come on now, listen. Come on now, look. That defense was legit. I don't know what happened against the Jaguars. I don't know how that occurred. But you gotta give him credit just because he hurt you some weeks. Just understand that what I said was right. He gonna throw for about 30 touchdowns. He gonna run for about 6 touchdowns.
It was like 40, wasn't it?
You're not going.
No.
Like
I said
40.
32. No.
You said 35. 35.
Oh, did I say 35? My apologies. 35, 5. Okay,
Yes.
fair enough. I own that. I own it. He might get there because they final schedule, if I remember correctly, is the 4th easiest or something like that. But we'll wait for it. But look, this is what I'll say. It was Trevor Lawrence because he ain't got no running game. Travis Etienne got 9 yards rushing.
4 games. He needs 10 touchdowns. He needs 15 touchdowns.
Remember Detroit last week? Where was this there?
Man,
Against the worst defense in the league.
I couldn't tell you.
Like, where's Waldo last week?
Hey, look, but like I'm saying, that's what I expect when essentially your rookie year is gone, or I should say a year of your career is gone, and you got to relearn. That's what I expect. Like, this to me is his second year. To me, is his second year because you never had you didn't have any development. You didn't have any coaching. You don't have anybody coaching you out of bad mistakes. This is what I see. This is why I hated when we fired Doug Peterson, because we can see like the change in the quality of what we're getting from Trevor Lawrence. Like, I wish we still had Dougie P. I love Nick Sirianni. I think he's doing a great job. But I think if you give Doug Peterson, Jalen Hurts, I think he will be farther along the way he is right now. But we're not talking about that. We talking about the Jaguars. But look, I'm going to go to Coach D. Hold on. I'm going to go to Coach D. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. I'm going to go to Coach D on this one because I'm done. I already talked about the Prince who was promised, okay? I already said he the reason why they won. They ain't got no running game.
In Jacksonville?
Okay. They had 9 yards rushing. 9 in the whole game.
No, look.
Can anything come out of Duval?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, yo, you sit here 9 yards rushing. The defense gave them 17 points. They didn't have to rush. Like, look, he good. I just don't feel. I feel like Trevor Lawrence 4 years from now is going to be a backup. And that's just my point. He going to get his time, but at the end of the day, he going to be a backup quarterback somewhere. Stat pad.
I'm going to write that down right now. I'm going to hold that. Hold on. Wait a second. Hold on, viewers at home. Keep talking. I'm just going to write it down. I'm going to notate the date, and I'm going to bring it up. Go ahead.
I don't think when you take a quarterback number 1 overall, you know what you expect him to do. You want Troy Aikman. You want the guy who's going to be the captain of the ship, who's going to lead you to a Super Bowl. You want Peyton Manning, captain of a ship, lead you to a Super Bowl. It doesn't happen often. So to put that on them is kind of unfair. For me, when you draft Trevor Lawrence and the hyperbole around his draft and his skill set, I need at least a Phillip Rivers type career. We'll see.
I don't see that yet.
Not yet.
Well,
not yet.
Let me say this.
Now, he has more physical tools than Phillip. Like, Phillip shot put the ball for 15 years. I don't know how he did it. Like, Trevor's got a better arm than Phillip. But is he a better quarterback? I don't know about that. Not yet, anyway.
Well, look, let's talk about. I'm just gonna put it out there. Take from it what you will. Okay, I'm just giving you stats. Through 13 games in year 2, right? Trevor Lawrence, 3,200 yards, 20 touchdowns, 6 picks, 66% completion percentage. Solid, pretty solid. I think so I'm going to give you stats of another quarterback. A blind reveal, shall we? This quarterback,
right.
year
right,
2, 3,100 yards, 19 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, 58% completion percentage. The first quarterback is obviously Trevor Lawrence. The second quarterback is Andrew Luck in year 2. I think I've made my point. It's the talent around you that can determine what you will eventually become. Because Andrew Luck in year 2 was I think at this point he was 8-5, and they was killing. But Trevor Lawrence, they out here with tumultuous back and forth, coach here, coach there, kind of got a running game, kind of don't, stuff like that. Defense is So again, I'm just throwing it out there. There's comps to this in year 2. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna be completely objective. His numbers in totality, when you hear him, you're like, yo, that's not bad. Like, that's legit. Like, I'll take 66% completion, 20 tubs. Okay. Only 6 picks. I'll deal with that. My problem is I watch the games, and when you watch the
Yes, sir.
games, it's not all him. It's not all him. Zay Jones had some drops yesterday before he came on. His guys got to come through and help him out. I don't know where they found that Evan Ingram yesterday, but they need to wrap him up and keep him because that's the Evan Ingram we've known since he got drafted. Like they need to do something about that.
I know the Giants were like, why did you do us like that?
But when I watch him, it's just like, okay, here's this 3rd and 4. All right, go get it. Ball's in the dirt. Punt. All right, momentum's on your side. You know, defense made a play. Let's go make this drive 3 and out. It's that stuff. Like, the stats don't tell all of it, and you're waiting for him to take that jump. And like, we're talking about the consistency. He's only in his 2nd year. I'm not writing him off. I just feel like the hype was so high.
Yes.
Like, best since Elway. And I'm like, come on, y'all. And so, I remember after his freshman year at Clemson, I would have drafted him number 1 overall after his freshman year. And it was like, after that, it just kept dipping. And it reminded me of, you remember Jameis?
You absolutely.
Year. And then after the freshman year, interceptions. And we kept making excuses for it. And what became his problem in the league? The interceptions.
Yes.
So I worry about that. We'll see. I'm not willing to say he's going to be a backup 4 years from now. I think he's got too much physical talent for that to happen. But is he going to be, number 1 pick? You're supposed to be one of the faces of the NFL. I don't know if he's going to be that either.
Don't see it.
We'll see.
All right. Speaking of number 1 overall picks, last week I said this man should go into television.
He went to L.A.
I stand by that.
He went to L.A.
I stand by that. He went to Hollywood, and it was a Hollywood ending. Look, I ain't going to take nothing away from this man. You practice one time, you have no rhythm with these receivers. They're coaching you how they do their 2-minute drill, how they spike the ball, like crazy. And did you have some help on that drive? Yeah, there was some bonehead plays by that defense. Bonehead plays. But you still went 98 yards. And did they help you by playing press man on the lat? I don't know. He made the throw. He made it. He made the throws to get him down there. Can he do it again? Well, they play the Packers. And I just don't see him going throw for throw with Aaron Rodgers. I just don't.
Look, that I don't see that. If at the end of the game next week, if Baker wins, it wouldn't surprise me because the Packers' defense is good, but again, we don't know what offense is showing up every week. But no, I think Baker just had his last highlight.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to agree with you, man. I just don't see it. I think you caught the Raiders in a trap game.
It's The
Yeah,
Raiders.
it was the quintessential trap game. We're surging. We go in and we get caught. We just get caught. I don't know what happened. I don't know what you was thinking playing press man at the end of the game. But Josh McDaniels is suspect anyway, so I don't know.
Whole
But
organization.
this is what I got, right?
They had everything to play for. The Raiders had everything to play for. Because if they win that game, they're back in the hunt. We're having a conversation with them about being a second half team. Like everything they wanted was in front of them. And you let Baker do that.
Like I don't, but like you said, I don't see it. I got the last 4 games. You got the Packers, that's an L. You got the Broncos, and usually I would say, oh, that's a W. But Russ, was he like slightly cooking? I don't know what that was.
Microwave.
I don't know what happened.
Microwave.
Air
fryer. Someone got him an Instant Pot.
I'm gonna take it as an air fryer game. But that might not be a W. So that's a toss up. And then you got the Chargers, that's an L. You're gonna get blown out the building. And then you got the Seahawks. And I know Geno Smith is not gonna let Baker Mayfield walk up in there and beat him to keep him out the playoffs. Nah, man. One of those is gonna be a W. I don't know which one, but I ain't got it like that. I'm
gonna say this though, and this is important. We gotta watch this because this league is weird. The injury that Matt Stafford has is a spinal cord contusion.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I don't know. They're saying no surgery.
Oh, it is.
When you start messing with the spine, we start talking about careers. So
you saw what happened to Peyton.
So look. Baker's auditioning and nobody's talking about it.
Oh yeah, that's real. That's real. Especially in Hollywood.
If Stafford,
he a name.
If Stafford walks away, this is his audition. Him and the coach like each other on a personal level. If he can play anywhere near what he's supposed to be, they can get him on the cheap.
All right, so Sean McVay turned Jared Goff into somebody. Lex, I'm gonna ask you: can Sean McVay turn Baker Mayfield until Jared Goff got to a Super Bowl? Let's just say, can Sean McVay get Baker Mayfield to an NFC Championship game?
I feel like McVay is an excellent coach. I think he really is. I think he's a really good coach. But here's my thing when it comes to quarterbacks that don't give me any reason to believe you should, you are performing the way you should, right? Jared Goff is showing it wasn't all Sean McVay. Let's be honest. Let's give him his props. The Lions are a problem. They a problem.
Hey, I've been telling y'all all year, I'm not quitting on that coach.
No, Dan Campbell.
I told y'all I'm not quitting on Dan Campbell.
Yeah. And that's why, and hold on, Keenan. Let's talk about something real quick. Our man Coach D was out on Campbell. He said he should go.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did.
No, I've been saying Dan. No. I said I expected Dan Campbell to go because of his record. I've been saying remember we talking about Matt Rule. I was like, Dan Campbell up there, even with losses, is galvanizing that team, and Matt Rule can't get them to be happy to come on the field. I was good on that. I expected Dan Campbell to be fired just because that's the way of the game. No, I like Dan Campbell. If Dan Campbell does get fired, I think he deserves another shot. He has shown me he's a good coach.
No, at this point, I don't think you can fire him.
No.
I think
it would be right.
The conversation with Dan Campbell this offseason is twofold. What are we going to do with your defensive coordinator? Is it him or is it talent? And I think it's a little bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
So you might see the defensive coordinator get moved. And look, I didn't think the number 2 overall pick was going to be what it was. Like I saw him in college, he seemed more like a hustle guy, and he didn't prove me wrong. That
Yeah,
boy
me too.
Hutchinson.
Yeah, me too.
I didn't see that burst. Like in college, it
I
was
thought
like
Ojabo was the better player.
motor. Man.
Look,
If they can
but
put somebody on the other side of him,
Mm-hmm.
and look, why does this cap? Mr. JSU? What's his name? Houston? I don't know why they had him on the practice squad all year. Because Houston, 3 sacks in 2 games. Like, okay, so we got our pass rush. Let's get us some corners, a couple more linebackers. Like, I
think if Jeff
where
Okudah,
Detroit is going.
if Jeff Okudah can get healthy, I think he is solid corner. He's more like a he's like Jimmy Smith. Solid corner. Ain't gonna wow you with anything crazy, but he is solid corner and you can
your
build
job.
around him. But look, the Lions are coming, and if Dan Campbell can pull out of Jared Goff those mistakes which plagued him with the Rams, I think we can all agree. The thing with Jared Goff was his mistakes. You'd be like, why would you throw that? Like, why would you do it? Same thing with Carson Wentz, right? You'd be like, well, what was that throw?
Yeah.
But
nowhere.
It's that brain it's that brain fart moment. Like that.
You just
know
can't do it in fourth quarter.
Ball, but I'm gonna throw it anyway. It's 3 other jerseys right there, but I can fit it. And then I throw it, and I'm like, oh god.
But if I'm gonna go with you, D, if I'm gonna go with you, can McVay do it? The only coach I think that could do it is Shanahan. So if anybody's gonna do it, it's gonna have to be McVay, because if he messes this up, he gonna be in television, because they're gonna be like, well, you failed at 2 other places. You failed at the Panthers and you failed, and that's it for him. So yeah, I agree with you, D. He the last stop.
And I think the one thing Baker did, because Baker likes trending, is he went to Hollywood. And see, Baker in Hollywood, because of his name, because of his bravado, LA's gonna love him. So as long as he doesn't stink it up completely, he gonna get another chance, and he gonna stay there.
I don't know. For his personality, though, if you a diva in Cleveland, Lord have mercy, what you gonna be in LA? I'm gonna leave that at that.
But you gotta win first. You gotta win to be a diva in LA. Look,
I guarantee you, off of last week, he been eating for free.
oh yeah,
He been walking around. He been driving around Bel Air like he Kobe Bryant. Like no.
But no. But if you stink it up this week, LA will turn on you. So when I say win, you gotta be a winning quarterback. Look, LA gonna treat you week to week.
No, you're right, because they did it to Braun. They did it to
That's
Braun.
fair. All right, last quarterback question. And I'm gonna go first on this one because I see a problem. Do you feel like the Bills are overusing Josh Allen? And I'm gonna tell you the truth. Heck yes. Heck yes. They asking him to be their everything. They asking him to be their joy, their peace, their happiness. The reason why they get up in the morning. Like, it's too much for one man to take. Like, real talk. And he taking some hits, trying to beat a running game. Like, we didn't got to the point. We didn't even talk about his elbow injury. They just out there slinging it like it don't matter. Look, Buffalo's a really good team, but I don't think you can ask one man to be all of your offense. And I think come playoff time, it's going to be a problem because the way the defense is going to play him is like, okay, we going to play man and you going to run. And what we going to decide to do is every time you run, we're gonna put that wood on you. Because over the course of 4 quarters, it's gonna add up.
Yeah.
And we've seen him turn the ball over anyway.
Yep.
So if I get a couple 15-yarders early, extend the drive, okay, whatever. But then in the 4th quarter, he start coughing it, or he becomes resistant to the contact. I'll take that. I think that I don't think they got to get more consistent with the running game because they're asking them to throw too much and run too much. And look, at some point, the numbers just don't become in your favor with everything that he's doing.
That's fair.
Look, I'm with you because they ain't running the ball, and that's what. But at the same time, this was the plan going in. This was his year. This was his MVP year. This was the year he's supposed to take that team on his back and take them to the Super Bowl. The expectations on him was to do this. Now, I agree with you. They need to run the ball because you can't be one-dimensional. But at the same time, this was the year that he was supposed to be Brady-esque. This was the year he was supposed to arrive and be the leader of that team. When they can't run the ball, he's supposed to be that guy. When the defense ain't playing well, he's supposed to be that guy. Now, when you
have we ever asked Brady to sacrifice his body the way we asked Josh Allen to sacrifice his body? Not never.
Okay, no. And I got another question because you mentioned it. We shouldn't ask Josh Allen to be all the offense. If Lamar was in Buffalo with that better team, would he be doing better? Being all the offense with all that help he got?
I would say Lamar's passing numbers would look better because the receivers are better. Stephon Diggs is a monster. Stephon Diggs is a monster.
Facts.
And then Gabe Davis is cool. And Knox, okay, Andrews is better than Knox. Ain't nobody going to argue that. But I think the difference is, though, here's the difference. Because Josh is 6'6", 270 pounds, he run the contact. If Lamar ran the contact the way he did, he'd been out. No, his body ain't built like that. Like, people got to realize, Lamar, both years, last year and this year, got hurt in the pocket. When he runs, he's fine. It's these hits he don't see coming. So, no, I don't. Plus, I don't think Lamar will work in Buffalo just because of how windy it is. Josh Allen was built for Buffalo.
Okay.
Oh, it's 35-degree winds. Josh
got
the arm to cut
that same thing.
Cut through it. So I don't want nothing bad to happen to him. I just think when you ask a person to beat everything, think of it like this. Houston used to ask James Harden, be our everything, be our best rebounder, be our passing leader, be our scorer, do it all. And then he get to the playoffs.
He tired.
He ain't got nothing left because he done gave everything to get here. That's what I'm worried about with Josh Allen.
No, that's fair.
So with Josh, for me, they asked him to do too much. And and I think that what they're doing is Josh Allen's going to be Andrew Luck if they're not careful.
Oh.
Because you take them hits, hit after hit, you jumping, you spinning in the air, you're doing all this stuff. It's amazing to watch. It's fun to watch. You got to give him props. He's giving up his body. But at the same time, that point conversely also makes itself, you're giving up your body. And without Josh Allen, the Bills are terrible. They're bad. Like, they're not a good team. And so I think what's going to end up happening is you're going to run him, you're going to run him, you're going to run him, because that's an effective part of his game. But teams going to do the same thing to Josh Allen that they did to Tua. We going to hit him. Because what these people, for some reason, have not figured out yet, once a quarterback leaves the pocket, you can hit them.
Yeah, it's over. Yeah,
And the way
and
Josh Allen
I
is,
can hit him on the face.
Josh Allen
Yep.
running back.
I can hit him on the face too.
Facts. And
So
so
when you
that's
do
what I
that
see.
riding the
I see
side,
Josh
just be hitting
Allen right here. Hit him right here. That look, I
Look.
don't care if you're wearing a flak jacket, that hurt.
Yeah.
Yo, speaking of hits, shout out to Ed Oliver, because I thought Ed Oliver was on his way to being a bust. And Lord knows he didn't turn that around. Like, he was a stud at Houston. I didn't see it the first couple of years. Ed Oliver was like, let me show you. He hit the quarterback of the Jets yesterday.
Mike White. I thought he
I am
killed
not
him.
a Jets fan. But when he hit him, I felt that in my chest. His body folded. I thought he was dead. I am not joking. Like, when he rolled around on the ground, I was like, oh, he breathing. Because, man.
Right. Oh.
And look, I'm going to say this, and I'm not trying to be funny, and I'm normally not this guy. But you got to follow the tea leaves. Robert Saleh talked about they got to find a way to get Zach Wilson back in the game. Because that's the plan. He was like, Mike was the short term. We want Zach to fix some things. Yesterday looked like they told that offensive line,
sacrifice.
Let him through.
Jesus.
Because
sacrifice.
They know in New
Lay
York.
him out bare before the Lord.
Look, you know in New York you can't pull him right now. But the GM is sitting there like, my job is attached to Zach Wilson. So if Mike plays well, that looks bad on me.
Didn't you draft Mike too?
Yeah, but they don't value.
I know.
They don't value that the same. They number 2 overall pick, and you gonna tell me we missed? Even if I got somebody else, the capital we just wasted.
Oh yeah, that's. Heavy.
I'm not saying it happened. I'm just saying the way it looked yesterday. It looked like the Jets' offensive line was like, you on your own. And he got beat all the hell yesterday.
Yeah, but like if I'm the offensive line, I'm not listening. Like I don't know what you're saying, but again, man, it looked like it. But I'm like, but I'm winning. I'm winning with him. I don't want to let you go. I don't want you to get folded.
Look, they ain't like, okay, think about this. And, I'm not into conspiracy theories and all that. But Buffalo's front seven looked like that yesterday. They didn't look like that with Vaughn.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, that's true.
That's minus Vaughn, and they out here hunting like a pack of wolves. Nah, it didn't look right. And I mean, what made it worse is it was up to A-Gap. They was just like Red Sea part. And
right.
We sacrificing quarterbacks in the Jets organization.
I'm just saying it didn't look right.
I feel from
all right, here we go. We approaching Christmas, and everybody says December 25th is the official start of the NBA season. So with that being said, I sent y'all a message before the show. So now I need the information. All right. Which teams do you feel need to make a deal, and which deal is realistic to be made? Because I could come up with a lot of deals, but what's realistic? Because some of these general managers is cowards, and I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to go on that tirade.
No, that's just real. All right, let's start off with the ones that have been trying to trade somebody all season, and that's the Lakers. I don't think they're moving Russell Westbrook. One, I think Darvin Ham is happy with Russell Westbrook, and they're going to move him unless they have that star that's going to help them definitely become a contender. Can
I say something real quick? Because I read this right before we got on the show, and I'm through my computer. There's a report that the Lakers want to bring back Kyle Kuzma, and I just want to throw my computer. Look, that makes, man.
So I saw that report, and then I read another report. It was all like Kuzma would be thrown into a Bradley Beal trade. So you know how they be leaking stuff and like parts
Okay,
and
okay,
so
I
and like
got
no
you. I
Lakers would
got you.
welcome
Oh,
him back.
okay.
So it's
But the
kind of,
Lakers don't have the pieces to make that deal work.
well, no. If you do that, Lakers are all. So the Lakers are all. We'll trade our first 2 round picks if we if we're gonna get a contender. So if they're gonna get Bradley Beal, they'll trade the 2 1s, Russell Westbrook and Kuzma, because Kuzma only making like 12 this year.
But the problem is Bradley Beal on that supermax. So Russ and his money might merge, but you got to match that Kuzma money. You don't have nobody in that slot. Everybody else is making mid-level exceptional below.
Well, this is the 2 trades that seem real for the Lakers though, and that's Pat Bev and Kendrick Nunn together make 23 million. I think Kendrick Nunn is 10 and Pat Bev is 13. So they can make it work with them. But I honestly don't think they're gonna get that Russell Westbrook trade off. So the Patrick Bev Kendrick Nunn seems the reality, and that is a Boban with Detroit, which they just talked to them, and they won and won. Not Boban. Was it with Utah?
Bogdanovich.
Bogdanovic. Yeah,
Yeah.
that man in
I was
Detroit
like,
killed it.
Bogdanovich,
I
okay.
like Boban, but he ain't changing their life.
So that seems like the more realistic pick. Miami, we at the point you all in or you rebuild.
Miami need to blow it up. I'm sorry.
Or you trade your 2 1s and go get you a person. But like you're at the Jimmy got 1-2 years left. Like you either gonna cash in this year or not.
Look, Miami, okay, I say this, God help me say this right. Miami is holding on to a 6 and treating it like it's a dime. Because
I think that's correct.
they think Bam Adebayo is like Hakeem Olajuwon out here, and he ain't that.
He
It
plays
ain't
good for
that at
his he
all.
plays good for his size, but y'all playing like he really that big. Like he ain't that big. And like in 2 years, he ain't gonna be a max player. He
But
can't play 5.
he inconsistent too. Like that the other night, I think it was late last week. He had a game where he went for like 30 and 11 or something. I'm like, well, if he do that, okay, I got to be quiet.
But he a
But
15
then he'll come back and give you and get you 15 and 4, and
like,
it's like that's why I can't do it.
and you can't shoot. So I don't even know who would want like he's really a center because he can't shoot. You're not a good passer. You really are a center that is short. So, like, he would be good in Golden State, maybe, because that's all they want you to do.
Now he made $30 million.
No, that's my
No,
point. But I'm talking about team construction. Like that. That's I don't see Bam
no, I
working
get
out
that. I'm just
anywhere else.
saying, well, $30 million is the hiccup.
So, and then my last 2 teams, real quick. Golden State Warriors. Wiseman is going to be traded. He's not working. I see him being
That's a
traded.
mistake.
I think that's the only
Look,
one they were going to give.
I'm gonna say this again because I don't think he's getting a fair shake.
I don't either.
You graduated high school, you went to Memphis, played less than 10 games.
Yeah, they play 7.
You left Memphis. You come your rookie year, you get hurt.
Yep.
Second year, hurt. And now you're playing, and they're like, oh, he's not up to speed yet. He hasn't played ball in almost 3 years. And he's literally went from high school to the NBA. No transition. And he's learning. And y'all want him to just he's trying to get his body right because he's been dealing with these injuries, and y'all like, oh, is he soft? And he got a lot going on with the pressure being the number 1 pick, and then trying to fit in. And hey, y'all chasing titles, and you get that, and I can't make a mistake because as soon as I make a mistake, you're gonna sit me down. Like, this is not how you grow him. I hope he get moved to a healthy situation where he can blossom because I believe he's talented.
Yeah.
But he's got to be allowed to grow through his mistakes.
The hottest rumor was him to Utah for Kelly Olynyk, which 3-point shooting center for Golden State is amazing, and again, Utah's in a rebuild with a bunch of young talent. So Wiseman would have those years to grow into what he needs to be. And you get him, and if they still get in the Victor, well, I'm gonna butcher his name. The Victor
He just Victor for me.
Victor W. If you get Wiseman and you get Victor W. and Victor can play 4, that's a front court.
Look, I'm telling you right now, with all due respect, Mr. Wizard and Wembanyama, I'm trying to say it right. That the man is 7'5". He's not playing 4. Okay, he's 7'5". He's not playing the 4.
That man nimble like a 4. Like so, I'm
no. I was going to say he's about to be Jokic. He's going to be your point center, but he's more explosive than Jokic.
Yeah.
Right.
When Victor get his man body,
all right. Oh, he's gonna be scary.
That ain't right.
And my last definite. You go ahead.
Go ahead, Lex.
No. I want to hear D. I want to hear. This has been real interesting. What you got to say?
My last one is the Knicks, because while they landed Jalen Brunson off-season prize pick, this Knicks team is a every other team as well. They will look good on one night and look like Orlando the next night. It is freaking bad. They've lost some games with all their starters. They missed out on Donovan Mitchell based off of one unprotected one. And Donovan Mitchell is balling in Cleveland. So I look to them to try to improve their team or do a soft reboot, because I know they kind of want to get off Julius Randle as well.
Okay. Julius Randle can't be your best player.
Okay.
That's number 1.
Okay.
He cannot be your best player. Number 2. If your point guard is 5'8", your 2 guard has to be an amazing defender and hide the defensive lacks of your point guard. They don't have that. 3, they have mismanaged the growth of RJ Barrett.
Mm-hmm.
RJ Barrett's ceiling was high, but the way they've used him, he has not grown into that ceiling. I know it's New York. I know the league wants New York to be good because of what it does for TV and the numbers and the money and all that. They missed out with the Donovan Mitchell thing. Now, I was with him. I wasn't a huge Donovan Mitchell fan. What he doing in Cleveland, I did not see that coming. I just didn't. But they missed out because
told you about
balling. And you did. I didn't see it. I saw, because of how personal it got with him and Rudy, I thought that was immature. I thought that's how he really played. I didn't know it was just, hey, me and this dude just ain't vibing, and it's affecting how I'm playing with everybody. He is a different person in Cleveland. The way he's working with Darius Garland and they making it, like, I didn't expect that. I thought they were going to fight over the ball. Like, all of that, the maturity, I didn't see it in Utah. I give Spider Mitchell tons of credit for what he's doing. In Cleveland, if they tinker a little bit, they scary.
Yes.
They scary.
They just got all their starters back too now, healthy. So
I know. Now they look good. So here's what I got, Joe. All right. So and hold on. And then you got Rudy Gobert out here liking Elon Musk's tweets.
Oh man, he ain't learned nothing. He ain't learned not a blessed
he's
thing.
So golly. But all right, here's what I got. This is what I think needs to happen. I got one trade because I think it's a trade that might change the East. Okay. Not change because this player is so dominant, and I don't believe that, not at all. But I think it's a tonal change. It's a commitment to an intensity way of going about your business. Philly need to find a way to go get Jay Crowder from the Suns. Here's the reason why. Sometimes what I see from Philly is a lack of intensity. I don't know where it comes from. You got Joel, you got Matisse Thybulle, who's an excellent defender, but they don't play Matisse. I don't know. He averaged like 13 minutes one day, 7 minutes
can't score.
Day. But see, here's the thing. But see, my man, what was his name that used to play for the Grizzlies back in the day?
Tony Allen.
Not Bruce, not Tony Allen. Look, I need some intensity. I need something because I need someone to give me a little bit of some oomph. You know what I'm saying? Something. And so if you're not going to play Matisse Thybulle, at least get someone that can play 3 and D. Jay Crowder can still knock down the 3. He'll play defense. Give him 15, 17 minutes a night, somewhere around there. But at least give me something. Because I was thinking, maybe go to Miami. But Miami needs to destroy their entire team and rebuild because this ain't it. You should technically what you should do is you should trade Jimmy. Is what you should do. You should trade Jimmy, get a 1, maybe 2 1s. You probably get 2 1s for Jimmy right now. Trade him to a team, and then trade Bam if you can, which I doubt you can. That's what I would do. But my main trade is because I like Philly. I want Philly to win the East. But you ain't beating Milwaukee with your roster right now because look, Giannis will eat. Like Giannis go eat against anybody. But you need something. You need some type of something, man.
All right. I'm gonna piggyback off of what you just said. And the league don't want to see this. But if I'm working the phones as a general manager right now, I'm Mark Cuban, I'm calling Dallas. I'm sorry. Mark Cuban is Dallas, forgive me. If I'm Mark Cuban, I'm calling Miami for Jimmy.
Ooh.
And I'm going to put Jimmy with Luka. Because
that's a Palpatine move, sir.
The problem with Jimmy is that in Miami, they ask him to be everything.
Right, yeah.
And he can do it, but he can't do it every night. But if you go with Luka, he don't have to do it every night.
They give Luka a break too. Because Luka right now with Harden too. Like, I feel Luka burn out in the playoffs.
Dallas got the pieces to make it work.
Yeah.
So, if I'm Mark Cuban, I'm seeing if Jimmy's available because the tea leaves say Luka is giving them 2 years to prove they can win a title or his team wants him to move. That's what they saying. I don't know. So
I heard something.
You really got to put all the chips in. Go get a title.
Hold on now. I'm gonna run this by y'all, okay? So I was going through the Twitterverse. You know, it's a dark place. Go down some rabbit holes. But this is what I heard. Tell me what you think. They're saying that LeBron probably gonna retire, right? Or go play with his son, one of the two, right? We're more likely go play with his son somewhere else. I doubt the Lakers gonna draft him. They're talking about Luka coming to the Lakers and partnering with Anthony Davis. Now, what say y'all to that?
That's amazing. But then we looking at comes the problem. Luka, of course, if he's going unrestricted free agent, walk there, no problem at all. That's fine. As far as making that trade, I don't think Cuban is going to make that trade, and the Lakers don't have the assets right now to make that trade. So if we're looking at 2 years from now, they'll have 4 more picks if they ain't spend none. But we're pretty sure they're going to spend at least one of them in the next year or so. So I think that would be amazing tandem. But again, Anthony Davis looking good right now. They resting him on his days. I don't know if Anthony Davis got 2 more years of dominance.
I'm gonna tell you what I think. I think it sounds good, and from a marketing perspective, Luka in LA is, whoever's agent is will be in heaven because the deals will come raking in. But this is what I would look at. If you could get Luka and Jokic together, wherever the destination, exactly, because they make everybody around them exponentially better.
You got 2 people just gonna pass. Like who you gonna double? Like
so you get them 2 together, And now all we got is 3-and-D guys because neither one of them can play defense. But now I got defense and shooters. So now the floor is spread because you got Jokic up top dumping, and then because it's spread, Luka can go and get in there wherever you want.
Look,
I'm telling you,
the formula's there. That's how LeBron won his championships. 3-and-D guys, and he didn't have the big he did with Bosh. I mean, Bosh ain't Jokic, but again, so man, that's scary.
I'm just telling you, we got this idea that only American-born players want a team together. These guys know each other. They play in the Euros in the summertime,
and they've been playing since like 14. Yeah.
So, if they could get a squad together, man. All right, before we go, look, I know it ain't much we can do now. It's the fantasy playoffs. Lex, you want to say a prayer for the people?
Man, look, I know how hard it is right now. One of my teams, they's done. Cooked. So, here's what we're going to do today, y'all. We're going to give you some playoff darlings, playoff winners, shall you? If you have them or don't have them yet, you should acquire them post haste. Here we go, y'all. Here we go. I don't know why y'all want to hurt me. I don't know why y'all get my blood pressure up. But why don't you have Jared Goff? Why are people still sleeping on this man? He is available in 67% of leagues. What is happening?
That's money.
I don't understand. This man is balling. And they have the 6th easiest schedule into the fantasy playoffs. I don't know what you're doing. The Lions
I think a lot of people struggle with, is it real?
Yeah.
A lot.
Who cares?
Because he was my starting quarterback on fantasy the beginning of the year. And then they kind of nosedived. So I backed off. I have Dak and I have somebody else. I can't remember now.
That's unfortunate. If you have Dak, I'm sorry.
But no,
and I can't even say anything. I drafted him too.
It's the thing of, okay, is he going to do it this week? And that's the problem. People are doubting him, not realizing even when they're losing, most of the time, he was putting up 270 and 2 tubs.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. He look, and he's slinging. Like I said, that final schedule looking real nice for the fantasy playoffs. So if you have high waiver priority or you're in a league that does free agent money like fab leagues, man, you better pony up for Jared Goff because he might win you a league. All right, this one gonna hit you close to your heart. J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
J.K. Dobbins is
man came back.
Running with a vengeance. So now, look, this is his best game of his entire career, which is unfortunate because he should have more games like this because he has the talent.
Absolutely.
But you got the Steelers again, and look, and I know people talk about the Bengals, which is true, but they run defense is not great. It is terrible. So in the fantasy playoffs, if you got J.K. Dobbins, which most of you have, he's owned in about 60% of leagues. So he's really not out there, but 60% is low. It's low.
Especially playoffs.
So if you can pick exactly. So if you pick him up, slot him in. Gus Edwards played all right. He played a good game, but it was a J.K. Dobbins show. Fantasy darling at running back. Look. Go.
No, I just want to throw in a real life thing real quick. After what he went through, I'm almost saying that the ACL in football is a 2 surgery process because they were like, he didn't look like this in the offseason. He went in and had the meniscus fixed and tightened, and it's like, whoa, his burst is bad. So it's almost like rehab, get to the point, let them go check your meniscus Wait 6 more weeks, and it's like if you waited 10 months, you can wait 6 more weeks. I'm especially with the NFL not willing to go to grass. I'm thinking this is the way to go.
Which I don't understand, but we'll let that go. All
Honestly,
right.
it's funding.
Go.
It's funding.
I was like,
no, seriously. Because it's funding because you got to water the grass. And I'm not even joking. It saves them money doing the one-time fee to put in the turf, and then the turf is movable, the whole thing, and it's easier to maintenance. Because what the NFL is trying to do, trying to get these stadiums to be profitable, you want to have more than one game a weekend. So that's much easier to do on the turf than it is on real grass. It's money.
Yeah, it might be money, but what? Let a quarterback tear the ACL, and that funding argument gonna go out the window.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
I ain't say it was right. I
wide receiver. Now these are two people that. So now look, here we gonna do. Donovan Peoples-Jones came out of nowhere. Now look, he was the wide receiver 9. Now, obviously, we know the wide receiver 1 was Justin Jefferson because he absolutely cooked that defense. But he owned a 99.9% of the league, so you ain't gonna get him. How can we figure out? How can we figure out production that might win you your maybe sneak through a game in the playoffs? Because sometimes the hardest matchup isn't the championship game; it's getting out the first round.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's what you're gonna do. Go pick up Donovan Peoples-Jones. He has the 5th easiest final schedule in terms of wide receiver production. Easy schedule. Deshaun seems to be looking at him. And here's the other part. He produced when Njoku and Amari Cooper were both on the field. So he played 100% of the team's offensive snaps. That says a lot. That's usage. And that's receptions, that's yards. That's what you want in terms for the fantasy playoffs, because sometimes it's a dart throw.
Oh, yeah.
So then,
oh, yeah.
I got one more wide receiver for y'all, okay? I got one more wide receiver. And there's one that wasn't on my radar, but it was on Big Daddy's radar, DJ Chark. Listen, I got to give you all the credit, viewers online. Man, Keenan got something going here. DJ Chark, this is his second straight game with over 90 yards or a touchdown. One of the two. He's either got, if he's played 80% of the snaps, he's got 90 yards or a touchdown in 3 straight weeks. And like we said, we've been saying it all day. We going back and forth to it. The Lions are coming.
Yeah.
So, again, we talk about Jared Goff got an easy schedule. Man, DJ Chark got an amazing schedule. So, and with the emergence of Jameson Williams, people have been dropping DJ Chark, which I don't understand. But he's not taking away routes from DJ Chark. He's taking them away from Josh Reynolds.
Yeah.
So, again, everybody going to eat because since they can't play defense, they're going to have to outscore you.
Yeah.
And that's fantasy gold. DJ Chark, Jared Goff, that's where we lean into.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you. Thank you for watching. We'll check back in next week. Hopefully your fantasy team is still alive.
Maybe.
Because I was gone. Have a good one, y'all. Peace.